Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this fine Thursday morning. I hope you are off to an amazing start, and I hope that you've had time to realize that what happened yesterday was not a dream. That was reality. So don't have to pinch yourself this morning as you're getting your coffee going and you're off to work, because I know that when you get to work or whatever you do for a living, that you're going to be talking about what happened last night. And that's kind of what we expected to happen, but now to see it as a reality with Mark Sears coming back and Jaron Stevenson withdrawing their names from the NBA draft to be a part of this Alabama basketball program. Once again, under Nate Oates, monumental news for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And here with you to discuss that this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. What's up, Jeff? I see you inside the comment box. Thank you very much to all of our members who are members of this YouTube channel. To become a member, $2.99. I appreciate you guys. This is how I get by. This is my job. This is my livelihood. So I appreciate your support and you guys being a member right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Remember, free to watch, not free to produce. Now, when we look to some of this Alabama now built roster, what I'm calling kind of the dream roster, I think that's been referred to by a lot of different people out there. I mean, it really is a dream roster. I think regarding Mark Sears last night, to be honest, in my opinion, just based off what Alabama had coming back, I felt that this team would probably be number one season overall, not just the SEC. I think I might have said that yesterday, but I think overall in the country. And as you can see, when you look to this dream roster for Alabama, I'll minimize the banner so you guys can see that a little bit better. I think it's incredible to see where this team is, the roster that they have, and how loaded they are. Let's look at this real quick. And the starting five, I don't know if this is going to be the exact starting five, but you have a lot of people to work with, right? John Rothstein, who covers college basketball, does a really good job. He posted this on social media yesterday. He said, this is the starting five, right? And he said, or at least he said that's the prediction that he has, right? So you have Aiden Holloway, right? You have, and he came from Auburn. That's the amazing thing about him. You have Mark Sears. You have Right Cell, who is 40%, right, from outside the arc. And then you have Grant Nelson and Cliff Amore. Now, in this particular lineup, and like Jeff is saying, maybe the guy from Pepperdine could definitely be starting. Houston Mallett, I believe, is his name. You also have Nas Cunningham, and then you also have Chris Youngblood also in the fold right there. I think when you look to this roster, I can't even imagine how incredibly intense practice is going to be, because like, look at it. Okay, so if these are the guys, and I was thinking, in my opinion, I would think that LeBaron Fallon would be maybe the one, and you could bump Sears to the two. I like Right Cell at that 3. 4, Grant Nelson makes a lot of sense, and Cliff Amore being the guy that is going to be your rim protector, right? But when I also look to this roster, I mean, don't forget about Jaron Stevenson. The guy is 6'11" and went off during the month of March, right? When things got hot, like this guy came with it. And I'm so glad that he pulled his name out as well, because I think he's ultra talented. He's young, but he is ultra talented as well. Mo Diabate. I don't think we can lose sight of him and how good of a player that he is as well. I think his ceiling is sky high. And then you look to Nas Cunningham. You look to Houston Mallett, like Jeff is saying. Maybe he could potentially be a starter. Chris Youngblood, you get Aiden Holloway, who's mentioned here as a starting five. Let me ask you, Undefeated, who do you think will be a starting five for Alabama basketball? I think Houston Mallett was close in terms of what he averaged last year. I think it was like 15 points. It was under 16, but I think he was over 40% from outside from the arc. And I think when you look to Alabama basketball, the program and the organization that Nate Oates has now is an up-tempo offense that is going to score a lot of points, right? It was amazing to think about. What's up, Patriot Life? I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you, man. Love the truck. Alabama basketball is built off a lot of points. Let's rewind to last season. They set the SEC record for most times going over 100 points. That was something that Kentucky held since the 1995-1996 season. Where were you in 1995-1996? Think about that. And I think that Alabama basketball overtook that by scoring over 100 points. And that was the thing. Look, credit to UConn. And I know we like to say that Nate Oates is the best coach in basketball. That might be a stretch because UConn's got a pretty damn good coach. But Nate Oates is up there, right? Nate Oates is climbing that ladder fast, right? Fast. Like, is he a top 10 coach? 100%. Is he a top 5 coach? Maybe. But the thing that UConn was able to do is that they were able to make Alabama do two things. Number one, they were able to get them outside of their game because they had Alabama. Does anybody know how many fast break points that Alabama had versus UConn? Jarvis, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. How many points? How many fast break points did Alabama have against UConn? The answer is 0. Okay. And what did UConn make Alabama do? Is they made them shoot jump shots, right? Mid-range shots, which are very challenging at the college basketball level for whatever reason. And I think Alabama shot less than like 40%, which is crazy for Alabama basketball. It took them out of their game. I also feel that Alabama, and as you know, we've said this a million times, they did not have a rim protector. Nick Pringle, as good as he was not a rim protector. Okay, he was a big, just like Grant Nelson. Like Grant Nelson, he's 6'11". So is Jaren Stevenson. He's 6'11" as well. Those guys are not rim protectors. A rim protector is a guy who has more size, right? He's probably in the 240 to 250 range. He's super athletic. He can get up. He can block shots. He's tough to deal with, kind of nasty, and he can get a lot of blocks. And that's what you're getting with Clifford Morris. So he's kind of the missing link to that team that Alabama needed. Jarvis is saying this basketball season is going to be different. Is going to be something different to behold. Football too. Yeah, I mean, get ready. I mean, you're gonna have to have extra bags of popcorn, right, for football and for basketball. Because if you think about it, basketball, what Nate Oates has done, has there been any game? Let me ask you this: were there any basketball games last season under Nate Oates that you just weren't entertained with? Right? Like every game was entertaining because they put points on the scoreboard all the time. Now, one thing that was challenging was the fact that when you watch, teams who take that kind of the air out of the ball, it's, there was this kind of half court mentality that, teams have had in the past. I think, what was it? Tennessee slowed down the game against Alabama on the road. And that's when Alabama lost by like 22 points. But Alabama wants to run, and Clifford Morris can run, and that's important. You got to make sure that your big man can play transition defense. You got to make sure that he can get down the court, and I think Amori is good to do that. Grant Nelson. All right, let's talk about him. Grant Nelson, I feel, look, against North Carolina, excuse me, that was crazy. He literally took over the game against North Carolina. He did. Someone posts his points inside the comment box and rebounds. Where was that all season? We were waiting for Grant Nelson to do that all year. And when he came from North Dakota State, I was like, that was the play that I expected from him every single game. We didn't see that from him. Sometimes he played a little bit soft, but by the back end of the season, he was playing like the Grant Nelson we expected him to. And with him coming back with the stash, look, he's really, really talented. Right, Hell? All right. This guy was supposed to be the best player on the team last year, but he just got injury plagued. Thank you, Jarvis. 24 points, 12 boards against North Carolina for Grant Nelson. That was last season. That North Carolina team, they were so damn good. Man, what's up, Steven? I appreciate you being here. Good morning. North Carolina, as soon as those two teams started going at it, that was probably, in my opinion, that was the most entertaining basketball game I watched all season long. I couldn't believe, because Alabama, what were they, trailing by 8? I couldn't believe that Alabama basketball beat North Carolina last year. I'm serious. Like that was such an entertaining game. Jeremiah, that's really true. Yo, man, it's me, dog. I appreciate it, man. What's up, Mr. B? I appreciate you being here. We made it to the Final Four without a true big. Now with Amori, that could be the missing piece. 100%. Yeah, and look, and I say this because it's true. Nate Oates, what he was able to do to get Alabama basketball to play at their maximum potential, he did that. This wasn't an underachieving team. They achieved to the highest of their abilities. You knew it, and I knew it, that they weren't going to beat Purdue and they weren't going to beat UConn. I think deep down in our hearts, we felt that Alabama basketball could do it. There's always a puncher's chance, but at the end of the day, we knew that they didn't have what they needed, which was a rim protector to go head to head with Klingon or the other guy from Purdue. Purdue beat them earlier in the season. And in fact, Purdue's and Alabama basketball are going to tangle again this coming season, right? Mr. B, I appreciate you, man. Love you, bro. Thanks for being here. Jarvis, thanks for being here. Jeff, good morning to you. Adam, I appreciate you. Steven as well, man. Thanks for all the support. Steven always hits me up on Instagram. He's like, when's your show, man? I can't wait to watch you. So I appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much. You guys give me a lot of energy to be here, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But not the workout, I'm telling you, the workout was super intense this morning. We were throwing cinder blocks around this morning. So a lot of the times we refer to cinder blocks as coupons. So if you want a free workout, look for F3 within your area. Fitness Faith Fellowship. It always ends with, the Circle of Trust, which is a COT. It's really good for guys and mental health. And, it's really good just to get out there and work out and kind of start your day like that. And you're right. Klingon is like 50 feet tall, but I think the guy from Purdue is even taller, right? All right, so the starting five, I don't know. I would probably put LeBaron Philon above Aiden Holloway, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen in terms of the practices and what's going to happen with Alabama basketball. I'll say this again. Look, there's two programs right now that are super jelly of Alabama basketball. Two programs, all right? There's probably a lot more, but there's two programs in particular this morning, all right? All right, and they both kind of, have this color of camo that I'm wearing. But I love these hoodies. They're super light. I wear them in the summertime. Kentucky and Auburn. Okay, yeah, Jarvis. Kentucky is one of them. Imagine being Kentucky right now, and you continue to see what's happening with Alabama basketball. That's the one thing that Kentucky is known for, right? Besides the bourbon, right? Is basketball. When you think Kentucky, I think of the Kentucky Derby, I think of the bourbon, and I think of Kentucky basketball, right? They have an incredible website. It's called KSR Radio. It's the biggest, it's the baddest. It's like the biggest thing in sports industry. I can't imagine the talks that they have on their talk radio show when they think about Alabama basketball and how bad it stings them to think about a program that was specifically known just for football is now climbing the pinnacle of college basketball in their territory. That was theirs. That was something that they had. And you know what? Another place that had that was Auburn. The one tiny thing that Auburn had going for them, and I saw they just won the golf championship, so they toilet papered Toomer's Corner, right? But the one tiny thing was Alabama basketball. They could always say, our basketball team can beat your basketball team, Alabama, right? So they would always have that. And it's a tough place to play, the barn, right? Now, with Nate Oates, and we looked it up yesterday, Jarvis, right? Remember? I think it's 6-4, Nate Oates versus Bruce Pearl, which is crazy to me because when I think about Bruce Pearl, he's one of the best college basketball coaches that there is right now. And Nate Oates is 6-4 against him, and Nate Oates has been here for what, 5-6 seasons? So the two programs that wake up this morning and are super jelly that Mark Sears and Jaron Stevenson are coming back are Auburn and Kentucky. And look, Alabama basketball is here to stay. Did you see this? I saw this. Greg Burns said that there's going to be some news in the next couple of weeks regarding this new arena that we're waiting for. Look, I'm telling you, this is important. If you are a basketball fan and you are not a season ticket holder, go to a game this season in Coleman Coliseum. Because, Adam, you're right, the baseball team doing their thing as well. Because what does Coleman fit? 15,000? It's a huge arena. The new arena will be smaller. It'll be harder to get tickets to. It'll be sold out forever, specifically if Nate Oates continues to stay and play and have his organization play at this level. So be able to go and play at this level. John, what's up, man? I've been offline for a few weeks. Is there a video or something about all of the Bama football on YouTube? Speakers bailing out. Yeah, so basically, long story short, we had to do what was best for our YouTube channel. I am the face of the YouTube channel. Those guys work elsewhere now, so you can go find them. But we're just running with my train. I started this from the ground up, and I'm just the one that runs the YouTube channel. So started it and continue to roll through. So I appreciate you being here with us, John. But I've moved past all that stuff, and it feels good, to be honest, because I'm living my best life and crushing it. So just continuing to roll through, and I appreciate you being here. So talking Alabama basketball this morning, John, if you just joined us, and appreciate it, man. Sometimes you just gotta, it's like for example, like if you've ever broken up with like somebody, like you care for them, but you break up with them and you wish them the best, but like you don't dwell on it, you don't keep bringing it up, you move forward, and that's it. Same thing like with a job. You get fired from a job, or have you ever fired somebody? Seriously, have you ever fired somebody? Do you think about it? You keep moving on, and you just control what you can control. And I can control. And guess what? How many people can you control in this life? How many people? You can just control yourself. So I guess that's one. But like, you can't control what other people think about you. You can't control, where other people go, what they want to do. Yeah, Jarvis, you're right. You can only control yourself. So like for me, I worry about my kids and myself, right? And I'm working on my spirituality daily. I'm, working to better relationships with my family. And not that they were ever bad. It's just like, those are the people that I want to put my energy into. And you guys are family too, right? So that's kind of where we're at in terms of rolling with the channel. And that's fine. So I'm here for it, and I'm built for it. I mean, think about this. I ran a business by myself for 12 years. I ran a YouTube channel by myself for 7 years. Was it always perfect? No. But I've worked those long hours. I've done it before. I mean, it's a brick by brick process. And, do I look up and see that there's 54 people watching? Yeah, but it's May 30th. Okay. I even challenge myself, consistency and performance. And you know what? Through the things that I've even been through these last like 60 days, they are minuscule if you really knew the type of shit that I've gone through in my life. The last 24 months have been fucking wild. Seriously. I have grown so much during that time that little petty shit like that, it don't even faze me, because I've gone through real adult stuff, right? Went through a divorce. Anybody been through a divorce? Holy shit, right? Anybody ever had full custody of their kids like me, right? Anybody, been in financial hardships? I've been there, right? Last year, during June of 2023 and July of 2023, that I was making $1,200 a month total, like at the end of the month. You ever had to pay alimony and child support? That's, way more than that combined, right? You ever fought depression? You ever been by yourself? Right? You ever been like a self-serving SOB? So look, I've worked on myself. I have continued to work on myself. So like that petty shit is nothing, because like I got 2 kids in this house that are the most important thing to me. And that's what I focus on. So, if you're out there and you like hear shit about me, come to me and ask me. This is the real shit right here, all right? And all that other shit that's out there, it don't faze me at all. It really don't. All right? So, because you don't know what I've been through. You really don't, right? And people are like, "Oh, it was drugs because Kyle got let go from On3." No, I didn't. I've never done drugs in my life. You can ask Shannon Terry. Ask the CEO of On3. It was a mutual separation. I wanted to take on the YouTube channel. They wanted to go a different route. They're thriving. I'm thriving. That's where we're at. So it's all good. And it doesn't, honestly, you know what? I sleep fucking so good. I ask God at night to take care of my people, to take care of myself, and to give me the energy that I need for the next day to raise my 2 kids and to do my job at a very high level. Here I am. Look, and if you're out there and you ever find yourself in a tough spot mentally, like I was last year, talk to people. Don't isolate yourself. It's okay. Like, talk to people. There are people to talk to, right? I saw the golfer that he took his life, and I know we're spinning off topic here, but we're talking about it. It's important to talk to people. I have a therapist that I talk to. Haven't talked to him in a little bit because I am becoming more, I am in a really great spot. But I wasn't at a really good spot. So you had to talk to people. And there was a time where I thought, you know what, this is the crazy thing. I thought that people were going to come and save me at my lowest point. I seriously did. I would sit in my bathroom and eat pizza, and I was like, damn, like somebody's gonna come and save me. Guess who knocked on the door? Nobody. It wasn't until I found this group that I talk about, my workout group, and until I started diving back into my work, that's when I found my groove again. That's the Kyle that you guys know. That's the Kyle that you guys rock with. That's your Kyle that you have energy with, right? But like, everybody has their point in times and everybody grows up. I'm 40 years old now. So like, that type of other like bullshit on the side, dude, that don't even bother me, right? Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, it's real shit, man. Case, what's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Kyle, all the real ones know you're legit. You're the best Bama coverage here, man. You're personable and humble. God bless, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, Fred, man. This is all I know from the signs. Roll Tide. I too have a therapist. Yeah, 100%. Get one, man, for sure. Yeah, they're out there. But you know what, man? Like, also, like, move forward on shit. Like, let shit go. Like, be able to move forward. Be able to accept things. Be able to accept loss. Be able to accept defeat. Be able to win with grace. Be able to move forward and pour your energy into people that you want in your corner, who are providing good energy back. And you know what? Like, I have a very high emotional intelligence to read different type of people. So keep people that are really positive, because people can see through the bullshit 100%, right? Just like you can. Like, you get the vibes. You understand it. But, you know, keep everybody real, man. And yeah, look, man, if I could only build like the coaching tree, one day I'll do it. Build out the coaching tree of all the people that have worked under me, that are now in the industry, that are doing their own thing. I'm proud of them. I have a lot of people stolen my shit, of course. That's what happens at the best. But it's like trying to emulate, you know, like there can only be one type of person. And the way that YouTube works is people like the personality, right? People like the real stuff. People like news as it happens. So that's what we're doing, man, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Okay, I wanted to talk about, and I appreciate your support, honestly. I really do. Thank you for the super chats. How I get by. Same thing with being a fan funder. So if you want to be a fan funder of the YouTube channel, $2.99. All right, I wanted to talk about Coach Saban real quick, and then I want to talk about weekend recruiting. Okay, so look, Coach Saban has been living his best life since retirement. Okay, it's been so I think sometimes you get to I am not close to retiring, and I sometimes think, as like an A-type personality that I am, like, what would it be like to retire, to stop like doing the YouTube channel or do something? Because this isn't like this is my work, but like this is what I would do anyways, right? And I kind of when I think to like Coach Saban and where he's at and what he's been able to do post retirement in this short, what, I don't even know, 5-month retirement stint, it's been pretty remarkable. Like, has he continued to stay relevant? Yes. Look at the performance that he put off in the NFL draft. That didn't look like retirement to me. It kind of looked like retirement and doing something that you were like meant to do. Like, who better to talk? This was a genius move. Max, what's up, man? Appreciate you being a fan funder. If you want to be a fan funder, $2.99, hit the members tab. Coach Saban was meant to do that, right? Coach Saban was meant to talk about prospects, to mentor, and then to also like recruit. Who better? Like, it was such a genius idea by ESPN to go out and get somebody who has recruited these guys for the last 6-7 years of their career, played against them, and then talk about them in the NFL draft. It was perfect, right? So now you see Coach Saban at these charity golf events. I was recently a part of a Habitat for Humanity. All right, I got out there for like the day. We built the house. It was right next to, look, I have been a part of like a tiny percentage, not even 1% of this Habitat of Humanity. Coach Saban and his wife, Miss Terry, have built 18 houses in Tuscaloosa. So you not only look at what he's done from a football standpoint, but also impacting lives. And he's building the Saban Center that is going to be monumental for the city of Tuscaloosa. And that will probably be a bigger part of his legacy, because you know what, like in life, as we go forward, people remember you for how you treated them. And you know, like he is setting up a foundation for teachers, for students, for all sorts of people to be able to continue to benefit in their lives. I think he's even establishing a program for former players to continue to navigate their lives. So Coach Saban really doing it big. And you know, I love the all smiles. And he, you know what's crazy, he even looks younger, right? Does he not look younger? He looks younger since he retired. And what Coach Saban is going to be, what, 73 in October? Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about this man in the middle. Okay. We'll zoom out on Saban and we will zoom in on Coach Kalen Deboer. All right. So Coach Kalen Deboer has a really big weekend of recruiting. And there's going to be some recruits in town this coming weekend. All of your recruiting sites have a really good list. So whether you're members of, you know, On3, 24/7, Rivals, you know, there's great recruiting sites out there. So most of these guys that are coming in this coming weekend are a crop out of 2026. Guys who stand out to me, like Anthony Jones, the number one player, you know, from Mobile. And what's amazing, we've talked about this before, is kind of like the talent rich area that LA is right now, like lower Alabama, right? You look at the prospects from there. Sometimes I forget that, like, when you think of LA greats, you think of like Julio Jones probably, and now more recently, you know, Ryan Williams out of Saraland. Like the talent there is crazy, but also like Deontay Lawson, for whatever reason, we're not hyping up Deontay Lawson enough. I don't know why, but we need to hype him up more. He started this whole like number 0 thing. You see, even like, is Terrion Arnold going to be 0? Did I see that right? Yeah, Max. Yeah, 18 houses, man. Yeah, he doesn't look stressed out. Remember, like, well, I think a sign was when his eye like popped. Someone said that could be blood pressure related. I have no idea, but I'm glad to see it. All right, so recruiting wise, you got Anthony Jones. Another guy that I'm interested to see out of 2026 is you have, let's see, Zachary Helton. He's from Carrollton out in Georgia. You have Caden Hall out of Florida. You have Grant Wise out of Florida. Now, these are all, you know, like Caden Hall is a safety. You have inside an interior offensive lineman by Grant Wise, who's out of Florida. And you have another guy out of Tuscaloosa and Cam Hood. But another quarterback to keep an eye on. This is going to be interesting. So check out this one. I'll bring this up on the screen. This guy, Jacob Presley, look, he's coming from Montana, okay? So he's coming from Montana to check out the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I don't know, you know, I haven't even looked at his tape, but I saw that he's coming in, which is pretty interesting. But I know you guys really want to talk about Keelan Russell, okay? Because I think when you look to Keelan Russell, a prospect that everybody's talking about, I'll bring him up right on this side. See if I can get it zoomed in. All right. This is official visit status. Okay. So Keelan Russell is a quarterback that is ultra talented, ultra dynamic, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's a 4-star, consensus 4-star on 3, 24/7, ESPN, Rivals, wherever you want to look at. Committed to SMU, and credit to SMU for being able to get a real good scouting report on him early on. But now I think that Alabama is starting to look kind of like the favorite right here. And I don't know, I haven't seen like a really big prediction being put in just yet for Kalen Russell, but I think this could be a monumental recruiting strategy in terms of this class of 2025. You get a quarterback like this on board, and other prospects are going to continue to come in. And we talked about like another 2025 prospect, and we had a video on this yesterday. I'm talking about Dejon Lee, the 5-star out of California, Mission Viejo, who is announcing pretty much in a month on June 28th. The 5 stars are going to come, but I think the building blocks are there. And I like the class of 2025 so far. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm still waiting for a 5-star within that class. I think it'll come. I know Ohio State, LSU, those programs are off to a hot start, but it's going to come. And I think most importantly, you've seen Coach Kalen Deboer do really good in recruiting 3 recruiting classes, right? 2024, 2025, and 2026, because he had to cap off 2024 here at the University of Alabama, which he did with a 5-star. He also had to take care of the transfer portal during the spring. So if you think you're busy, think about Coach Kalen Deboer and kind of his January to now, right? Going into this month of June. But I'm excited about this first. What's up, Jermaine? Appreciate you being here, man. From On3 reports, Bama has the best chance of flipping him, and we got another crystal ball from Dawson Merritt. Yeah, let's look at Dawson Merritt real quick before we bounce out of here. But yeah, I haven't seen, I from hearing Kalen Russell talk with the guys at On3, it says that, I think it was a Chad Simmons article. It says Alabama has kind of the brand and everything that Alabama has to make him flip. I mean, look, no disrespect to SMU, but I mean, SMU, Alabama. All right, let's check out Dawson Merritt. Who's another prospect that Alabama is actively recruiting. And I think more than likely this could be, do we have a commitment date on Dawson Merritt? So Dawson Merritt is a prospect that is out of Kansas. He's a consensus 4-star. He's a linebacker, 6'3", 205. Is there a date that we have for Dawson Merritt? Has anybody seen that? I haven't seen a date, but I think when you're looking to like guys who could commit next, I think he could certainly be one, and that's Dawson Merritt. So those are kind of the high points in terms of what we're watching in the class of 2025. Kalen Russell, Dejon Lee, Dawson Merritt, and then class of 2026, you have a big wave of those prospects coming in this coming week and weekend, like started today throughout the weekend. And I think one thing that Alabama is going to be able to really kind of push the gear down on now is the fact that Kalen Deboer is here. He's established. I'm sure his recruiting room is completely set up the way he wants it to be. And oh, you know what I remember now is Kalen Russell was also talking about the fact that he met with Coach Sheridan on Zoom, and they kind of broke down plays together. And Kalen Russell really liked Coach Sheridan's approach. So Coach Sheridan, we've talked about him several times. He's a younger coach. I get it. This is a gigantic step up from being the Washington's tight ends coach, but he was also the OC at Indiana. And plus, he's being mentored by Coach Kalen Deboer under Coach Kalen Deboer's offense. And don't forget about Jamarcus Shepard. So those guys, I look at it as kind of a 3-pronged offensive attack. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of Kalen Russell. But Dawson Merritt, I think, is a name that could certainly be close to committing. So anyways, I appreciate you guys joining me for my morning segment. I will be on as news happens. So, it might be a morning show. I might be on midday. I might be in the afternoon. You kind of just wait and see. I cover the team and cover sports differently in the summer, just based on, news as it happens compared to what I do during the actual season. So during the season, there's a lot more topics to kind of focus on. And that's kind of how we navigate it based on kind of the season. So I appreciate you guys being here. Anthony, I appreciate you being here. Mike, what's up, man? Samuel, Jarvis, Chris from New Jersey, good to see you. Jeff, thank you so much for the support. Mike, Max Tooney, thank you so much for being here. Joe Crooms, what's up, man? And everybody else inside the Undefeated, thank you so much for being here today, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Look, in case, man, with the big super chat today, along with, we had another, I think it was Fred as well up in the house. The basketball team, enjoy it. Soak it up. What's happening right now is really amazing in terms of the roster that you have. The dream lineup is here. Is it the dream team from the Olympics? No, nobody will ever mess with that. That dream team that's the true dream team, right? You can never, like, that will never ever be duplicated. All right, we will fight over that. Like, I get it. There's been some really good dream teams put together, but like when you had Coach K and Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, that was the dream team. Okay, so is this the dream roster for Alabama? Yeah. Is it the dream team? No. Can't get those two twisted, because those are different things. We don't. There's only one dream team, and you know what I'm talking about. Those were like that was the golden era of basketball. I miss it. Those are the days. And you know what? Before I go, we were talking. I saw an Instagram video. Look, I followed the Giants baseball team. Okay. And I saw on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll put my name here. Yeah, we'll get some new emojis up in here. I'll add some new emojis. So I saw an Instagram post yesterday, or it was a couple days ago, talking about the Atlanta Braves. I think it was the 95 Braves. And they were running through the 95 Braves. Let me see. 95 Braves roster. Because I know we have Braves fans on here. Okay. I'm actually pull this up because it was worth talking about. All right. So this was the Atlanta Braves. Do they have their roster? Player stats. All right. Okay. This will probably work right here. Can you guys see this? Okay. All right. Then these are the 95 Braves. Okay. Marquise Grissom. He was incredible. He's one of my favorites. And look, I am not a Braves fan, but the reason I know about the Braves is because I watched them on TBS when I was living in New Mexico growing up. Like you had WGN, which showed the Cubs, right? No, I saw you, man. I appreciate you. So my membership review ain't worth mentioning. I appreciate you, man. Love you, C-Dub. But I want to shift gears here real quick. So David Justice, Ryan Klesko, Javi Lopez, Fred McGriff. See if I can find that pitching staff. Oh, look at this. This was crazy. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, right? 19-2, 16-7, 12-7. So it just kind of got me thinking about like this baseball team. And I grew up watching the Atlanta Braves fans because I know since I've been covering the Alabama football team, you guys love Atlanta. Like we have so many Braves fans here, right? Look, I'm surprised that this Braves team didn't win more titles. I really am, but they sure were fun to watch. And I've heard that Tiger Woods said that Tom Glavine like could be a pro golfer as well. I don't know. But just wanted to kind of bring that up because I saw like the Atlanta Braves roster on Instagram and I was like, my goodness, like I remember them. Same thing with the Cubs. And I didn't watch too much White Sox, but I mean, because I was a National League guy, right? Mr. Halle Berry was that team. Man, that team was absolutely loaded. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me this morning and rocking with me always right here on Bama Football on YouTube. As news comes in, I got you guys covered. Yeah, I'm sure Caitlin will check in at another time. But from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. You guys be good people, and I will catch you as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a good morning, fam. I love you guys.